Good day and welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. In this video, we're going to talk about my 5 biggest tips to players looking to start Legion Remix halfway through the Legion Remix experience and how you can get going quickly. The first tip is going to be about infinite research and the infinite quest line. So firstly, complete the tutorial to the point where you get to the infinite time bazaar. After this, you'll be tasked with getting your first character artifact, but before then, you'll be introduced to a couple concepts: the heroic world tier and the infinite research quests. Make sure that you are constantly picking up your infinite research quests. You will receive an item while questing called Nostrin's Voucher, and use this constantly to interrupt your questing and your Legion experience to come back, hand in the ones you've completed, and take more. This is because these give you a ton of EXP. They give you 1% experience gain on your account, and they give you a ton of infinite power, and they give you bronze. So completing them is imperative. On top of that as well, Eternus will give you certain quests to hit certain levels, to complete certain things, and these will unlock things like world quests, as well as also unlock, of course, the ability for you to get a ton of bronze as well and progress on your account. Please also bear in mind when you're picking these that the best ones to pick are going to be the Dungeoneer's normal, so completing any group finder normal, completing any group finder heroic dungeon and normal dungeon, self-improvement, which requires you to do just 2 quests, which can also be world quests, 15 enemies slain in any boss, which coincides with any dungeon, and or any raid finder raid. You should be selecting all of those whenever you see them. Defeating enemies is also a good one that you can pick up as well, as all of this will coincide with your questing. Do not at any point while you are leveling, unless you have a dedicated group of friends, pick up any normal or heroic encounter that you cannot access through the raid finder. Next, we are going to talk about the order in which you should take on content. Content in Legion Remix is not limited the same way it is everywhere else. The Broken Shore will open up to you at level 40, for example. Each of the zones you can very easily do at any given point. World Quest will open up to you at level 30, and Argus will only open up at max level. What you should be doing on your character is actually pretty simple. What you want to do is you want to start with Vel'Shurah. This is the easiest and best zone. Not only is the quest line very easy, its world quests when you unlock them are also very nice and good to complete. The quest line is quick, simple, and has very great mobility. Post Vel'Shurah, you will then, depending on your flavor, either do High Mountain, but I prefer Azuna. For a similar reason, the questline has great flow, and along the way you can also pick up a ton of pickups for infinite research that require you to defeat demons, as the initial questline is great on Faranar for defeating those demons. On top of that as well, you get 2 very early dungeon quests, which are very helpful. From there, you should at this point be able to start the Broken Shore questline. You will also unlock world quests, which you unlock at level 30 from Moriarty. The moment you have access to the Broken Shore, you need to go and complete the Broken Shore. It is got a great questline, which requires you to do some other things, which we'll talk about as well. And also, on top of that, you will gain access to its instance content, which you'll want to complete, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. When you are doing these 3 zones, the whole time you should be completing your class hall quests. Your class hall quests are available to you pretty much throughout the entire process, and you'll want to complete these as you're going along. Not only do they give you a ton of EXP and cache of infinite treasures, but they are crucial towards some of the later achievements you may want to do or quests you may want to do, such as Balance of Power. Once you have completed Broken Shore, Vel'Shurah, Azuna, and your class Order Hall questline, you should pretty much be around about level 60, maybe even level 70. At level 70, you will get the buff from Moriarty, which gives you a huge EXP gain boost from level 70 to 80. And here you can either use Stormheim to complete, or you can use instance-based content. You can come back and finish High Mountain, Suramar, and the remainder of Stormheim, but the moment you hit level 80, you're going to want to get to Argus. This is because, again, the quest line here is very easy and gives you tons of bonuses. Along that, the invasion points are very easy and the world quests are very easy, all of which give you tons of resources and also count towards a lot of achievements, which is very important. Then once you've completed all of that, you can head back and complete the remaining main quest lines, leaving Surma preferably for last, especially when you've got some power on your side. Once you are max level, and while you are attaining max level, we are going to want to focus on instance-based infinite knowledge. Your character uses a very powerful currency called infinite knowledge. Infinite knowledge determines the amount of infinite power that your character obtains. When you are leveling your character, and once you hit max level, your priority needs to be acquiring as much infinite knowledge as quickly as possible. With Argus and with the Broken Shore, we have access to quite a lot of easy early infinite knowledge. For example, the Cathedral of Night gives you +1 infinite knowledge for completing it on heroic difficulty. The Seat of the Triumphant in Argus, the dungeon there, gives you the same. Completing both of those raids also gives you an infinite knowledge point each. And if you complete all of the dungeons while you are leveling and questing, making sure to pick up all the different ones, you will pick up a ton of infinite knowledge as well. In total, if you just do all of the raids on normal difficulty and you do all of the dungeons on their normal or heroic counterparts, without even needing to touch mythic level content, you will pick up over 12 infinite knowledge. Because this can be done primarily while you are running the dungeons, it's a great place to start. On top of that as well, you will also get infinite knowledge points from completing the invasion points on Argus, which you should be doing. You will get the infinite knowledge points from completing lesser invasion points. You will get them from completing Legion assaults. You will get them from completing the Legion 4 questline, which is the Broken Shore questline. You will get them for completing the Argus questline, and you will get for completing the Sojourner achievements. But the Sojourner achievements, meaning completing all the side quests and major quest lines in each of the initial regions, should be left till last. As much as the main quest lines are great for leveling, the side quests are a little bit tedious, tracking them all down, and aren't something you need to focus on. It's very similar with Surma. You don't need it. You can very easily get yourself past 30 infinite knowledge without ever having doing those regions. So start with the instance-based content whilst you are progressing and leveling, and then get those easy achievement points from Argus, Broken Shore, and then moving back to the other zones to finish off the side quests. Now that your character will have a ton of infinite power, or have a decent whack, and your character should be sitting at a decent item level from completing all of these various achievements, you can start to move it into your mythic / etc. bonus content, which is great. So you can obviously focus in on those. When we are talking about Legion Remix, however, one thing I want to mention is the alts. A lot of players will want to level alts. There's a lot of reasons why. There's secret achievements, there's class order halls which are easier to complete, there's hidden artifact appearances, and there's the fell variants of mounts, which plenty players will want to get for free, I might add, if you complete your character's level. Leveling your alts should realistically only start at about 180% EXP boost. Leveling your alts is a very quick process. Each alt you get to level 80 adds a further 10% on to your account wide, and any infinite research quests you do with them to help them level will also add. Once you get to about the 170-180%, it takes you really only about 3, 4, maybe 5 hours to level a character. During that time, you'll be stacking even more EXP gain, which will allow you to level the next one faster. The reason I say this is because if you jump across too early, you can spend a lot of your time being ineffective with leveling your characters, and end up spending a lot of time getting lower levels of bronze, lower levels of infinite power, and just not really having a good basis point for kind of really starting to rack and stack bronze and things quite easily. So yeah, leveling out should be only done really from that point onwards. My last tip to players, and I have tons of videos talking about how to get strong and what to focus on, how to gear up and all those sort of things. But my last tip to players is that you should focus on completing things in the Legion Remix experience that don't necessarily correlate to just obtaining bronze. Obtaining bronze and buying mounts is fairly simple. If that's your game, just play as much content as possible. You will get there eventually, especially with the bronze buffs coming on. The same with things like Heroic World Tier. You can activate this at any point and it will help you, but you don't even really have to touch it if you're talking about really getting a ton of bronze. What you do want to focus on is making sure that you can get some of the achievements that you aren't really going to end up getting in retail. This could be things like hidden appearances for your artifacts. This could be, for example, picking up all of the class order hall campaigns, because those are far easier to complete in Legion Remix due to the fact that the order hall mission tables are not required, and just in general trying to complete some of the secret achievements in Legion. Could be obtaining the secret Fathom Dweller mount, which I have a video on. It can be obtaining different rare mounts or completing different rare achievements in the course of the content that I highly suggest to players. The reason I say this is because although getting bronze and getting the rewards is the main benefit of the Legion Remix experience, one of the other major benefits is obviously having some of the different quests and timed events more active, and also of course having active player base that is currently running around Legion Remix. So try to make sure you can get some of those done. But that's it from me. I hope this has helped you out. If you're looking to start Legion halfway or looking to get going, do not worry, you have plenty time to get into Legion Remix and grab a ton of rewards from Legion Remix. Yes, you may have to hit it a little bit harder than maybe other players, but at the end of the day, you will come out with plenty of rewards. But that's it from me. See you guys next time. Bye.